You know you're doing something unique when one of the greatest basketball players ever mentions that they're watching you play. When Larry Bird stated that he followed Caitlin Clark and her team last season as much as he watched Indiana State, his former college team, that was precisely what transpired. Additionally, if you know anything about Larry Bird, you are aware that he is not one to bestow praise readily. This man has played against the best basketball players in history and has seen it all. Nevertheless, he finds time to see a young player who is, in contrast, only beginning her career. However, this narrative is not only about Bird becoming a fan. He recognizes something in Clark that makes him think of his own basketball career. Consider this. Bird wasn't the most athletic player on the court in his day. He wasn't the fastest runner or the tallest jumper. He possessed an incalculable understanding of the game that appeared to be nearly miraculous. Decades later, he is still experiencing the same enchantment in Clark's game. Clark is establishing a whole new ocean in addition to generating waves in basketball. Nike offered her a $28 million contract before she ever participated in her first professional game. That's more than many NBA players make, to put it in context. Even though she has only just begun, she is already the WNBA's top star. The problem with being in the spotlight, though, is that it's not all cheers and signatures. Everyone watches your every action, and some people love you while others distrust you. When you compare Bird and Clark, you can begin to understand why he is such a huge fan. As if they were reading minds while everyone else was reading a book, they both possess this sixth sense on the court, which allows them to anticipate plays before they occur. Both of them are capable of shooting long enough to frighten coaches and irritate defenders. But the shooting isn't the only thing.
Wright knows his team very well, having coached as an assistant
Bird
in
and
Las
Clark are
Vegas.
playing chess, anticipating 3, 4, and 5 moves ahead of the other players, while the majority of players are playing checkers.
And Tanisha Wright knows his team very well, having coached as an
She
assistant in
always
Las
has the
Vegas.
same expression in her eyes that all the greats had when they took the court. This expression conveys the message, "I belong here." Similar to Bird, she compensates for her lack of athleticism by outsmarting and outperforming everyone else. She is evidence that basketball is more about thinking faster and doing better than it is about who can run faster or jump higher. The story becomes much more intriguing at this point. Having won 9 NBA titles as a player and coach, Steve Kerr is no stranger to brilliance, but he notices something different in Clark. He sees Steph Curry instead of Larry Bird. Upon further reflection, that analogy may be even more indicative of the future of basketball. Kerr stated the following, and you should listen carefully because it's crucial. "I think Caitlin looks a lot like Steph Curry. Many people may not recall this, but Steph wasn't a household name throughout his first few years. He wasn't the person he is today. He needed to gain strength and realize that he was being pursued. That's what Caitlin is going through at the moment." Clark is also discovering that the professional game is different, much like Curry did in his formative years. She has had some incredible games, such as when she scored 30 points against the Washington Mystics, when everything seemed to go as planned. However, she has also experienced difficult evenings, like as the time she shot only 10% against the New York Liberty. Being a pro means you have to learn how to deal with both the highs and the lows. Similar to Curry, Clark performs on-court feats that the majority of players would never consider. When she crosses half court, she begins shooting, and we're not talking about frantic heaves. She practices making these measured shots every day. Her death? It's not like a normal basketball. It's more like watching Patrick Mahomes chuck a football. She is able to strike teammates precisely in stride with her full-court bombs, behind-the-back passes, and no-look throws. She is not merely playing basketball. Rather, she is redefining the game's rules. Curry is unable to contain his admiration. The best shooter in NBA history has the following thoughts regarding Clark. However, he stated in another interview that she is fearless. She is driven by the game, but she does more than just score points. She improves everyone around her. You can't truly prepare for the element of surprise she adds when you see them play. because she is within her range when she crosses half court.
It's so invisible. That shooting form is really remarkable, so let's talk about it.
Curry notes that her form remains same whether she is shooting from 3 or 30 feet. It's similar to observing a well-tuned machine. Her follow-through is nearly flawless every time. Her elbow is always at the ideal angle, and her feet are always perfectly positioned. That takes thousands of hours of shooting shot after shot in an empty gym. It's not something you're born with. There is a magnificent moment in the arena when Clark pulls up from the logo. Even before she releases the ball, the audience is humming. They are aware that a unique event could occur. Curry clarifies that these shots accomplish more than only raising the score by 3 points. They undermine the spirit of the opposing team. Consider this. How can you defend a player who routinely makes shots from angles that most other players wouldn't even think to try? Every effort has been made by teams to stop her. They have tried to deny her the ball, doubled her, put faster and taller defenders on her, and more. But she always manages to find a way, just like the greats. Because there is no ideal method to guard you when you can shoot from wherever and pass like a quarterback. Let's now discuss a topic that has been simmering beneath the surface. Not everybody was prepared for Clark's quick ascent to fame. Some WNBA players have been more cautious, but NBA players have embraced her style of play with gusto. And what do you know? It's all right. Every outstanding player who has altered the game has encountered doubt. Bird did. Curry did. Although change isn't always pleasant, it's essential for development. Even LeBron James, who has experience handling high expectations, came up to support Clark. This is what he said. Don't get it wrong. Caitlin Clark is going to make great things happen for the WNBA. That is strong support coming from someone who has been bearing the burden of expectations since high school. The trip hasn't been flawless, and it shouldn't be. That difficult matchup with New York where the shots simply wouldn't fall. Part of the story is that. The times when the game feels more difficult than before? Legends are created there. All great players have experienced it. Jordan did, Bird did, Curry did. It's about how you react when you do fail, not about never failing. However, Clark's story may have more impact than statistics, highlights, or even legend comparisons. It concerns the activities that take place in gyms and driveways throughout the nation. It concerns young children, particularly young females, who see her play and decide, I want to do that. Clark is demonstrating to today's youth that they can have bigger dreams than ever before, much like Bird motivated a generation to polish their jump shot. Clark, who is only 22 years old, finds himself at a significant turning point in basketball. History. She plays with a flair that speaks to basketball's future, while maintaining the basics that would make the greats proud. We're witnessing not just another gifted athlete, but someone who has the potential to drastically alter the way the game is played. The beauty of basketball lies in that. Occasionally, someone emerges who reimagines the game rather than merely playing it. Bird's clutch shooting and court vision allowed him to succeed. Curry achieved this by expanding the realm of possibility. Clark is now doing it by incorporating elements from her predecessors while also creating her own distinct style. This goes beyond a gifted player winning games or scoring shots. It concerns a player who challenges our perceptions of what is feasible on a basketball floor. Every time she takes the court, it's about shattering barriers, altering our perspectives, and inspiring us to believe in magic. We're eager to see what Clark performs the next season, just as Bird couldn't keep his eyes off those Indiana games. Please remember to hit the bell and subscribe button if you like this breakdown so you don't miss any more. Please share this with any basketball lovers you know, and leave a comment below with your favorite Caitlin Clark moment to date. Keep witnessing history being made till the next time. Thank you for viewing.